Welcome back to my garden. Today I'll be reading from Anastasia, The Ringing Cedars, Book 1 by Vladimir Megre, first published in Russia in 1996. Some of you may find this information a little too woo-woo, but the information is out there and I find it fascinating. I hope you do too. The seed is a doctor. Each seed you plant contains a huge amount of universal information. Nothing man-made can compare to it for size and accuracy. This information allows the seed to know precisely, down to the millisecond, when it needs to come to life and grow, what juices to take from the earth, and how to use the emanation from the sun, the moon, and the stars. It knows what to grow into and what fruits to bear. Fruits are intended to give man sustenance. These fruits can effectively fight and resist any illness of the human organism more powerfully than any man-made medicines that exist today or will in the future. But to do this, the seed has to know about the person's condition. In order for it to be saturated during the ripening process, the fruit needs the correlation of substances for healing a specific person and his illness, if he has one, or a predisposition toward one. In order for the seed of a cucumber, tomato, or any other plant grown in a garden to have information about a person's health, the following is essential. Before planting, take one or several small seeds in your mouth and hold them under your tongue for at least 9 minutes. Then put them between your palms and hold them like that for about 30 seconds. While holding the seeds between your palms, you must be standing barefoot on the plot of land where you will later plant. Open your palms, carefully lift the seed that lies in your hand toward your mouth, and blow the air from your lungs on the seed. You warm it with your breath, and the tiny seed gets to know what is inside you. After that, hold your palms open for 30 seconds, presenting the seed to the heavenly bodies. The seed will determine the instant of its ascent, and the planets will help it. And for you, they will bestow on the shoots the light they need. Then you can plant the seed in the earth. In no case should you water immediately, or you will wash your information off the whole seed, and the seed needs to take that in. 3 days after planting, you may water. The planting must be done on each vegetable's favorable days according to the lunar calendar. Planting early without watering is not as terrible as planting late. You shouldn't remove all the weeds next to the shoot coming from your seed. You have to leave at least one of each kind. The weeds can be cut down. In this way, the seed takes in information about the person, and while its fruit is growing, it will take from the cosmos and earth the maximum energy essential for this specific person. You shouldn't remove all the weeds because they have their own purpose. Some protect the plants from disease, others provide additional information. During its growth, you must communicate with the plant, at least once during its growing period, preferably on a full moon. Go up to it and touch it. Fruits grown from a seed in this way and used by the person who grew them are capable of curing him of absolutely any disease of the flesh, significantly slowing the organism's aging, ridding him of harmful habits, increasing his intellectual abilities multifold, and giving him emotional peace. The fruits will be most effective if they are used no more than 3 days after harvesting. These actions must be done with the various types of crops planted in the garden. You do not have to sow the entire plot of cucumbers, tomatoes, and so on in this way. A few plants are sufficient. Fruits raised by this method will not only taste different from others. If they are subjected to analysis, the correlation of substances they contain will differ as well. When planting seedlings in a scooped-out indentation, you absolutely must work the earth with your own hands and bare toes and spit in the indentation. Substances containing information about the organism's illness are sweated out through the feet. The seedlings take in this information and convey it to the fruits, which will be capable of fighting the ailments. Walk through the garden barefoot from time to time. The variety of crops in most gardens is sufficient. What matters is not only the variety of plants, but also how they are planted, the direct communication with them through which the saturation of information occurs. The important thing is to saturate the piece of nature that surrounds you with information about yourself. Only then will the healing effect and the life support for just your organism be significantly higher than from the fruits alone. In wild nature, there are lots of plants you can use to heal absolutely every existing disease. That's why these plants were created, but man has lost or nearly lost the ability to determine them. The main doctor is your organism. From the very beginning, it was given the knowledge of which herb you should use and when, as well as how, in general, to feed yourself and breathe. It can avert illness even before its outward manifestation, and no one else can replace your organism, for this is the doctor God personally gave you, and only you. When you have established relationships with the plants in your garden, they will heal and take care of you. They will independently give an exact diagnosis and manufacture the special medicine that is most effective for you specifically. Thank you, Anastasia, and to all my viewers. May this inspire you to learn more about Anastasia and the magical Ringing Cedars.